everyone. How's everyone today? Welcome to the Dirt Road Farmer. Well, I have got a few requests wanting me to show how I set up 5 harvesters to run into a field at the same time. And the one thing that I'm going to do that today, but the one thing that I want you to keep in mind is this is merely just my way. I'm not saying in no way, form, or fashion is this the only way to do it. Please don't misunderstand me. This is merely the way I do it, and that's all. You know, you can take tips from me and different things that I show you and use it on how you set yours up. You can tweak it however you want to tweak it, or you don't use any of it. That's fine. You know, whatever you choose to do. I'm just merely trying to help. Like I said, I've had some requests wanting me to show this, so I'm going to go into detail and explain exactly what you need to do to set it up the way that I do. Okay, the first things are first. Now, anytime that you have multiple harvesters or multiple tools that's going to run in the field at the same time, you are going to have to create a folder in Courseplay, and then you're going to have to put down, or you're going to have to create a name for what you're actually doing. Okay, so with that being said, the first thing you need to do is realize which field you're actually talking about. Alright, so from here, we are going to go to our HUD. Alright, and we're going to come down here to the southern fields. Alright, now, one thing for you to keep in mind. This whole outline used to be one field. Yes, that's right, one field. Well, I came in here and I divided these fields up for the sole purpose harvesting this whole thing in one day. I'm not going to say it was impossible, but it was almost impossible to get done. So I came in here and I divided them up into fields. Okay, well, the name of this one field, before I divided it up, it was 11. All right, well, we don't want field 11. Now you can put 11 into the naming and add something to it, but for me, I like to call them different. I completely renamed each field. Okay, so this field here, I call that field south because this is the southern part of the farm. So I called this field south 001, field south 002, field south 003, and then came back down here, field south 004, and so on. Okay, that's how I set them up. All right. Now, just wanted to show you that so that if you've got fields that you created, you got to make sure that you know what field that you're naming. Okay. All right, so let's get out of this and let's get down here into this harvester, the first harvester, and let's start trying to get them programmed in. Now, another thing that is important is that if you're running multiple tools, make sure all your tools are set up right into your vehicle settings. Now, that's what I do. Every tool. In this particular case, all these harvesters are going to be set up in the vehicle settings the same. All right, so in order to do that, we bring our HUD back up and we bring up our vehicle settings. All right, and there's your X9s, 1100s. All right, every vehicle needs to be set up the same, and this is the way that I do it. I only want to show the start and stop course. I want to be able to open the small HUD. Like after we get done generating the course and we go back to our vehicle, you right click the mouse and that brings up the small HUD. That's what this is. So I activate that. Stop at the end is activated. Turning on the field. Now, in my particular case, I have these big commercial fields. I don't have creeks in the way. I don't have a bunch of trees in the way, buildings in the way. So I don't need them to stick to turning on the field. They can go off the field and turn. So now if you had a bunch of trees at the end of the field, of course you'd be setting this up all different anyway. You'd be doing some headland passes and you would want them to turn on the field. But in my particular case, and you're asking me how I set mine up, this is deactivated. Turning on the field is deactivated. Avoid driving in the fruit. Yes, we do not want them to drive in the fruit whatsoever. Okay, so that's activated. Allow reverse pathfinding. I've got that deactivated. Allow using Pathfinder in turns. That's deactivated. Fold tools at the end of the course. Now, for a while, when Courseplay was just getting going and they were just starting multiple tools in the field, if you had this activated, somehow or another it was causing problems with the whole course. And since then they have gotten that taken care of, but I still have it deactivated because they don't need to fold it at the end of the course. You know, they don't need to fold the harvester up, and no, they just don't need to do that. So I deactivate it. I can fold it if I want to. All right. Raise tools and lower tools. All right. I have mine set at raise tools late, and that's because I want to make sure they get all the crop at the end of the field. At the end of their row, I want to make sure they run past the end before they raise the header up, so that make sure that they get all the crop. And lower the tools works the same way. I want them to lower the tool early before they get to the crop, so that whenever they do get to the crop, they're getting every bit of it. So this is important. You want to raise late, lower early. All right, these other settings in here, I don't mess with. I just leave them at the default settings, and everything works great. All right, again, combine settings, always unfold the pipe. I can unfold that pipe. I don't need them to unfold it. That just complicates things even more. So whenever I pull up there to the field and I get ready to set it up, that harvester's ready to go to work. I've got the pipe unfolded. Everything's ready to go. Stop while unloading. I've got that deactivated. And what that means is if you pull up next to a harvester, now you're going to be running 5 of them. So if you run up next to a harvester to unload him and he puts the pipe out, he's going to stop and wait there until he unloads everything that he has into you. Okay? Which is holding up progress. I don't want to hold up progress. There's no reason for him to stop. Whenever I pull up there beside him, I want him to continue to harvest. And I'll run alongside him and get what he's got. So I keep that deactivated. Combine self-unload? No. We don't want them self-unloading. They're not going to run to a trailer and unload. I'm going to bring the trailer to them, and we're going to unload on the fly. So that's deactivated. Unload on the first headland. No, I've got that deactivated because first of all, we're not running any headlands. All right, we don't need to do any headlands. So I keep that deactivated. Straw swap. All right. You want to keep this, if you're wanting the straw, if you want the straw to use for bedding and things in your animal pens, then you want to activate that. If you don't want the straw, then deactivate it. All right, deactivate the straw. Now, on most of my fields, I have the chop straw mod. So whenever I chop the straw and spread it down all over the field, I'm getting the first stage of fertilizer. So only on the smaller fields that I usually plant wheat or barley on do I leave a straw swap. Any other time I keep it deactivated because I want to spread it. Okay, lane changes. I deactivate that because I don't want them changing lanes. We don't need none of that. And this convoy distance. Now, this is merely my way. You can try different distances, but if you come in here, you know, you've got different ways that you can set this up. You can go down or you can go up. But if you take your cursor, your mouse, and you put right in the middle of it and left click, it'll give you a box that you can fill in your own distance. And I'll just show you right now. All right, I'll put my mouse right there and click, and it gives me a convoy distance. Right there is where I can type in what I want. So I'm going to type in 400 because I would like for them to stay 400 feet apart. And it does its thing, 400.2 feet. All right, very, very important. You've got to keep that convoy distance way apart because you don't want them running into one another. All right, down here, I usually leave all of this default. That's what I do. I don't need them running any faster than 12.4 mile an hour in the field. I mean, I wouldn't be able to keep up with them. All right, and everything else, like I said, just default. Vehicle debug, I don't do anything with that, and I just keep that deactivated. All right, so you come over here. Once you get all of that done, and let me make another thing perfectly clear at this point. You want to make sure what you did here, because you're going to go through each one of your X9s or each one of your tools that you're going to run at the same time here, and you want them all set the same. In other words, you've got the first guy set at 400 foot distance in his convoy distance. Well, you don't want the one behind him running 100. You want them all running the same. So all the settings for each tool that you're going to put in that field needs to be the same. All right, and then you just go over here and you save it. Save the game. All right. Now we got it. All right, we got it saved. All right, now I guess the first thing to do would be to come down here, that little icon that looks like waypoints there, click on that and come down and clear the current course that is in that harvester. All right, another thing that we need to do is we need to look and see if we've got a field south 003, and we do not. We've got a 008 in field south 7, 5, 4, and 2, and 1, but we do not have a field 3. All right. So what we need to do right down here at the bottom, let's create a folder. And we're going to call that Field South. .003. Okay. And now we have a Field South 003. So we're going to highlight that. And we don't have anything in that folder. That's a brand new folder. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is come down here and we're going to generate a course for that. All right. So we're going to create a job. You want to come up here and make sure you're on CP Fieldwork. That's Courseplay Fieldwork. You're in an X9. And I don't use a target position because I'm already there. But a field position is what you need. So you left click that. Bring the field position over. And put it about where you think they're going to start. About where you want them to start. And there you go. You have your field outlined. Now you can come down here and generate a course. All right. So now you want to look the working width of the header. In my particular case, it's a header. 39.7 feet. All right. Multiple, and that's right. Multiple tools, we're going to run 5. Number of headlands, like I said, on my fields, on these commercial fields, I don't need to run headlands. So I'm not picking any headlands on this farm. All right, the field center, how you want the harvester to run. You want him to run up and down. You don't want him to do circular motions or nothing like that. You want him to go straight up and down. Up and down row direction, I usually set that at automatic. Let it figure out which way it wants to go. Whether it wants to go back and forth this way or back and forth this way. Now you can set that to run which way you definitely want it to run. Me, I just keep it at automatic. All right, rows to skip. Now, I have been running Courseplay for quite some time. And the first turnaround always gives me problems if I do not skip a row. Now, since I've been skipping a row, I skipped 1 row and I have not had any more problems at all. So you always want to you asked me how I set mine up. You do not have to do this. I want to really make that clear. I'm not telling you this is the only way to do it, but I'm doing this because it's been requested that I show you how I set mine up. I'm setting mine up to skip 1 row. All right, so we're not doing lands. Okay, so you can just leave that setting alone. Up and down angle, I leave that alone. It's set at 0. There's no islands out there, so you can leave that set. Field margin, this is kind of important. I bring that into minus 0.2. That's how far the offset of the header is going to be. And I don't need it offset very much at all. All right, once you got all this set up, then you can generate the field work course. So you left click on that, and here behind the scenes you can kind of see it's got it done. All right, and there it is. Okay, now once you come out of that, you've already got, if you right click your mouse, you've got a temporary course in there. But what you need to do, you've got 4 other harvesters that you need to put that course into. So you want to go back into your HUD. All right, the icon that's got the waypoints, looks like waypoints. All right, find the field that you just made a folder for, which was Field South 003. That's highlighted. And you want to save the course that you just generated. So you click on Save Course, and then it'll bring Activate up, and you want to activate it. I call that Harvest. H for 5 harvesters. All right, you go up here and press OK, and there you have it. Okay, now you can get back out of this. All right, now if you look at your small HUD down here, you've got 5 harvesters, or harvest 5 harvesters. You always want to start at the first waypoint when you're first starting out. And your vehicle space position here is correct. Left 2. Okay? Now it's easy from here on out because you've got the course all generated and everything. So at this point, you want to go to number 2. Get in number 2. All right. Bring up your HUD. First thing you want to do is clear the current course that's in him out. Go up here. Click on the course that you want him to run in the field that he's supposed to be in. Load that course into him and activate it. All right, now you can get out of it. And if you look at your HUD now, you can see that it's got the right course in it. Start at the first waypoint. His position is 1 left. That's 2 left, 1 left. All right, and he's set to go. All right, let's go to number 3. You got to go back into your HUD. Make sure you got the right field. Make sure whatever you're wanting to do in that field is highlighted. Oh no, the first thing you got to do, and I'm sorry, the first thing you got to do is come down here and clear the current course in him. Then go up, highlight that one, load that course, and activate it. All right, now you've got it activated. You got Harvest 5H in there. First waypoint, his position is going to be center. So he's center, 1 left, 2 left. All right. Now we'll bring number 4 up. Go into the HUD. First thing you want to do, clear the course that is in him right now. Go up and highlight the course that you want in him. Load that course, activate it. You're good to go. All right, so you got it right there. You want him to start at the first waypoint. His position is going to be 1 right. So from center, you always count from center. 1 left, 2 left. From center, 1 right. And guess what the next one's going to be? 2 right. All right, so let's get into that one. We want to clear the current course, highlight the course we want to put in him, load it, and activate it. Get back out of your HUD, and there you have it. First waypoint, his position is 2 right. All right, now we're not going to run these harvesters today. I'm merely just showing you how to set them up. I've had a lot of questions for that, but whenever you do fire these harvesters up, you'll merely go over to number 1 and go down here and hit this triangle, which is the start button, and tell him to start. Now there's not any of them going to go anywhere until they're all running. They've all got to be running, and you have to have this triangle pressed on all of them for them to work. So anyway, that's how I set my harvesters up. I hope that this has been informative in some way or another. If you've got any questions about it, leave me a comment, and I will be more than happy to explain something to you or go farther in depth with it. But that's how I do it. But anyway, like I said, we are not going to run the harvesters today. This is just a little short video to show you how I do it. So, if you've liked the content, please go down there and give me a like. I'd sure appreciate it. If you've not yet subscribed, please go down and subscribe to my channel. I'd sure appreciate that. That'd help me out big time. If you want to share this video with someone that wants to know how to set these harvesters up, please do. But as for me, the Dirt Road Farmer, as always, we're going to call this a day. And thank you for watching.